there, happy Monday. Elizabeth Hines here from our Paleo family and the Autoimmune-Free Cooking Club. In case you haven't heard, if you haven't seen any of my other videos or received any of my many emails that I've been sending out, enrollment is open in the Autoimmune-Free Cooking Club. It is a new membership community for people who want to manage their disease naturally. Enrollment has been open for this past week, but today is the last day. Okay, did you see my post I did on Friday? I've gotten a lot of positive feedback about that. If you didn't see that one, go back and take a look at it. It was all about paleo lunches. We think a lot about dinner. We spend a lot of time, what's for dinner, but we forget about lunch, breakfast too, but we really were focusing on lunch. So go back and look for that. I'll also write up all those ideas in a blog post. It'll go up on the website, but you have to have a login to access anything on the website. So that's where the free membership comes in. I'll talk about the different membership levels at the bottom. Today, we're really going to talk about self-care. So I know you're busy. We are all busy, which is why it is completely understandable that sometimes we let meal planning and grocery shopping and food prep just go by the wayside. If you are trying to manage your disease with diet and lifestyle, otherwise known as functional medicine, then probably a lot of your day revolves around food. You're thinking about food, you're planning food, you're preparing food, you're eating food, because you have to eat to survive. You and your family, everybody has to eat to survive. Now, and when you're really trying to beat a disease, all of those decisions really take on a heightened importance, okay? I know all of this because it's my life. So I lived with undiagnosed Crohn's disease for I don't know how many years. I have lived with this diagnosis for 10 years, and I have managed my disease naturally for the past 5 to 6. Honestly, it might even be 7. I kind of forget. It's been a long time. Crohn's disease is an autoimmune condition that comes with pretty life-altering symptoms for most people. So maybe you have an autoimmune disease like that is pretty impactful. Maybe you have one that there's some skin conditions that might be kind of minor, and maybe they affect you in a place that's always covered up, and so it's not really at the forefront of your mind. But the fact is, if your body is expressing an autoimmune condition, you're very likely to develop another. That's just the way autoimmune disease works. So you're here because you're interested in managing your disease naturally. Even though I have this really serious disease, most days I don't give it a second thought because I'm in the habit of managing it with food. I'm in the habit of planning and shopping and cooking in a way that keeps my disease in remission. This is what I want for every single person walking the face of this earth with an autoimmune condition. People die of complications from autoimmune disease every day, all the time. It is not uncommon, but it really doesn't have to be that way. But taking control of your disease rather than letting it control you really takes some knowledge and understanding of the way it works. It takes a lot of commitment, perseverance, and that is not easy. Those things do come easily to some people. There are a few people who are like, yeah, I'm in, and they go all in 100%. But that is not most of us. So if you find yourself constantly starting over or saying, hey, come Monday, I'll do better, or gosh, it's already almost October. I think I'll just wait and do better in January. Then you might need some help in this area. For real, lasting healing and change to take place, you have to figure out what your non-negotiables are. What are the non-negotiables for your body and for your life? And the Autoimmune-Free Cooking Club can help with that. This is a membership community run by me, someone who is trained in functional medicine and health coaching and human physiology, but more importantly, who is really walking the walk. This is my life. I have figured out how to make all of these things habit so that it's not overwhelming come dinner time. Just because I have been managing my disease with functional medicine for the past 5 or 6 years doesn't mean I have it all figured out. Things change. This week, while it's called my launch week, my membership is open, it's a high stress time, and stress is a main instigator of autoimmune disease. It really causes a lot of people to flare, myself included. I have to work really, really hard at this self-care. Sometimes for me, you're going to think I'm crazy. Self-care is vacuuming my house because I hate the house being dirty and cluttered. I will show you my desk sometimes. So I keep this, background looking nice, but in front of me is the mail and the bills and the receipts and all like that boring, mundane stuff that unfortunately I have to take care of, but it gets pushed to the side because I would rather do other things. So for me, self-care sometimes is cleaning. Okay, another piece of self-care that you may or may not agree with is meal planning. Meal planning and then grocery shopping according to that meal, working out when you're going to prepare those various meals, and then actually executing that plan. That, in my opinion, is a very high form of self-care, because what you're doing is setting yourself up for success. You're making your health a priority. Look, I have to feed a hungry husband. I have to feed 2 teenagers who are always starving, and I do not give them a lot of convenience foods. So we have 7:15 Monday morning meeting, and we do some Bible study, and I pray with them, and we just kind of talk about our day. And I told them that once a week we would have a special visitor to our morning meetings, and the special visitor would be a treat. It would be gluten-free donuts or gluten-free bagels. It would be something like that, because we don't have that all the time. Just because they eat 100% gluten-free, and I would say 80% paleo, that doesn't mean I let them eat a bunch of gluten-free junk. It would make my life a whole lot easier. I've got to go down in just a little bit and make a batch of granola so that there is a healthier choice for them to have for some snacks and breakfast. But people ask me all the time, how really do you do it all? And the answer is, I don't do it all, but I know what my non-negotiables are, and I know how to prioritize. I know the non-negotiables for me, and I know the non-negotiables for my family. Look, I want my husband to be with me for a long time, and he has his own very serious autoimmune condition. So cooking for him in a way that keeps his disease in check is a high priority. My children are much more likely to have an autoimmune condition because both of their parents do. So while I have them at home for these 18 years, it is a high priority that I feed them in a way that prayerfully keeps them from developing an autoimmune condition of their own someday. I homeschool my children, I clean my own house, I do my own yard work, and I don't say this to brag, because I can guarantee you, if you have someone else clean your house is a lot cleaner than mine is. But I know like what my tipping point is. I can't stand seeing that dirt on the carpet. I'm going to run the vacuum, or like my grandma would say, run the sweeper. Time to run the sweeper. So I know what has to be done to keep myself from having a mental breakdown and to keep from opening that door back to my disease. If I let my stress level get so high, if I start eating a bunch of convenience foods that are not good for my body, well, then I know I'm letting that disease creep back in, and then I'm letting it control my life. And I don't want to do that. That's a non-negotiable for me. So the way that I figured out how to do these things for myself, that's what I want to share with you. That's what a health coach can do for you. So let's talk for a minute about what's included in the membership. That is the Autoimmune-Free Cooking Club. So there will be weekly 20-minute coaching sessions. We'll have Q&A. We'll have live kitchen demos. We'll have accountability. Okay, that's every week. Once a month, there will be spotlight coaching, which means someone in the membership gets to volunteer for that one-on-one time that they need. You'll have access. You don't have to participate, but there is access to an online community of like-minded, supportive people. Helpful resources from the Institute for Functional Medicine that I have the right to provide to you because of my training with the Functional Medicine Coaching Academy, which is in association with the Institute for Functional Medicine. And all of the hundreds of recipes and meal plans and other content that is a part of what has been our paleo family for all these years and is now the Autoimmune-Free Cooking Club. So all of that content is there. Oh, I forgot to say, a new recipe every Wednesday. Every Wednesday of the month. I mean, maybe I'll take the day off if it's Christmas or something, but I can do this ahead of time. I can set up my recipes and have them ready so that really every Wednesday of the whole year you get a new recipe. So you'll find your favorites, but it's nice to have a fresh idea. So I'm providing that for you. I was just having a conversation with a friend this morning about self-care, which really brought all this up. How do we take care of ourselves? Really the question is, why don't we take better care of ourselves? And I'm not talking about really getting your nails done. I'm talking about your health. It's a big deal to take care of yourself. And some people feel like it's selfish to think self-care, But really, I think it's the most selfless thing, because when you take care of yourself, then you are well to take care of everybody else. And that is what you want to do. Listen, we're in the weeds over here. I have a 15-year-old and a 12-year-old, and they're not ready to launch yet. I've got a lot to teach them. There's a lot that they need to learn. I feel like my time is so short, and there is so much on my plate. This responsibility is enormous, and I'm trying to keep my marriage healthy. I'm trying to keep this ship running smoothly, and I cannot do that if my body is working against me. So that means I have to keep self-care a priority. I can't let it take a back seat. Do you think of meal planning and grocery shopping as self-care? Probably not. You probably think I'm crazy to say that, but I think it is one of the highest forms of self-care, because you're setting yourself up for success. You're setting your week up to be successful, and you're keeping stress. We have so much stress. Look, whatever it is, whether you've got babies, toddlers, teenagers, maybe your kids are grown, maybe you're caring for grandchildren, maybe you're caring for a sick spouse. Stress is high. And if you can do this one thing, plan your meals, and then actually shop so you have the food, you are really helping to keep that stress level low so that you can deal with all that other stuff. It's like just taking this one thing off your plate. The question I'm going to ask you now is, are you ready to make yourself a priority? And if not now, then when? Do you want to wait till January? If you want to wait until next week to join the Autoimmune-Free Cooking Club, I'm sorry, that's too late. You'll have to wait till January. I think you need to make yourself a priority right now. Some habits are real fast. They take days. Like if you want to start drinking your coffee black, 3 days. Your taste buds will adjust in 3 days. If you want to go from not planning, shopping on the fly, running by the store on your way home from work, what are we going to have for dinner, eating out most of the time, to having a well-formed plan that you have executed well, that's going to take some time, because it's not just a cookie cutter formula. If there's some work involved to figuring out what really works for you. That takes some time. I think you need to start today. I don't think you can wait until tomorrow or next year. Okay, you need to start today. So think about it. What are you going to do to start caring for yourself right now? I think you should join the Autoimmune-Free Cooking Club. It's going to be great. Okay, let's talk about value for just a second. My one-on-one coaching rate is $150 an hour. So one person once a month gets that for $20. Plus, you get weekly 20-minute coaching. Plus, you get all the content on the website. It's a good couple of cookbooks worth, okay? It's about $40, $50 worth of recipes there, just if you bought it in cookbook form. The Institute for Functional Medicine documents are worth thousands of dollars, and you can't even get those unless you have an inside track somewhere into the Institute for Functional Medicine. I'm your inside track, okay? I can provide those for you for free. So I'm offering this to you, founding members, for $19 a month, because that's such a little price to pay, but it's something. It's enough of something that represents making a commitment to yourself. And that's why it's not free. There needs to be a cost involved so you have something invested. That's part of taking that step towards self-care. So again, there are 3 options. There's the free membership, which just gives you access to a few recipes and some other content. But again, you have to actually join that to have that free access. And then there's a monthly payment plan and an annual payment plan. If you want a 10% discount, go for the annual payment plan. But I'm offering everybody 1 month for free. 1 month of full access to the whole membership, everything that's included, for free. So you'll see what it's like. And if it's not for you, fine. You can cancel it and you'll never be charged, I promise. And honestly, this technology stuff and getting this all set up has been a bear. So if for some reason something happens and you get charged, I will refund your money. Scouts honor. Scouts honor. Is that right? I have Boy Scouts in my house. I should know. I'm not trying to pull one over on you. I promise. I just want you to make this commitment to yourself. So go to autoimmunefreecookingclub.com. There is more information there. All the sign-up information is there. That main page has buttons all over it that you can click, and they'll take you to a registration page, and it will just walk you through the process. It is possible to put your autoimmune disease into permanent remission. It's not easy, and it takes some work. It takes some commitment, but you can do it. I've done it, and I'm not really anybody special, and I have a really serious disease. and it doesn't affect me. So it's possible. And I hope you take that as an encouragement. I think we all need constant encouragement. Go to autoimmunefreecookingclub.com. All the information you need is there. There's also contact information at the very bottom of the page. If you have some questions, just reach out to me or leave a comment in this post and I will reply to you today. Enrollment is open through midnight tonight, and I really hope that I get to see you on the inside tomorrow. All right, thanks everybody. I hope you make it a great Monday and do something for yourself today.